Welcome to the Workbench. I'm Doug. Today I'd like to talk to you on how to best adjust your tensions for that perfectly balanced stitch for your embroidery machines. Maybe some of you have worked on your machines and have seen different types of tension results depending upon the needle you're using. Or maybe you've experienced some thread breakage. So I'd like to show you, first of all, the threading as it comes through the machine. You have a pre-tension thread guide here, which can be independently adjusted. Then you have your tension control. Then it comes down through your routing, through your take-up lever, and back down to your needle. So typically you want to start with all of these backed off as far as you can. And then on the upper thread tension, because there is a thread sensor underneath, which stops your machine if your thread were to break. You want to be sure that when you're looking from a side view that you see 3 gray lines above the white base here. So for me, I'm kind of tall. When I'm looking down, I see multiple lines. So I want to squat down a little bit, look directly across to make sure that they're all consistent. See what I mean? 3 gray lines. Because sometimes if this tension knob is too loose or too tight, it could cause a thread break error code. Have you ever experienced maybe while sewing that you got a error that the thread was broken but it really wasn't? It could be just because of that tension setting. So to start with, again, make sure you have all 3 lines above that white base. And then we can go to our tension test, which is located here on your screen. Do you see the multiple bars? So when you select that, go ahead and set it. So once you've selected the 10 bars on your screen, all you have to do is select Edit End and Embroidery. Make sure that we have all of our threads ready. Select OK. Now what's going to happen is it's going to start to sew these bars on all 10 needles. But after it stitches the first bar, we'll want to stop it after it cuts a thread. Then we can remove the hoop and look at it. So let's see how that's going to go. Touch the lock button, then start. As you see, once the thread has been cut, you can hit the stop button. Then remove the hoop and look at the bottom. Wow, when I look at the bottom, I'd like to see 50% of the bobbin thread in the center with 25% of your color thread on top, on each side. Okay, so if I'm looking at this, this is telling me that my bobbin case is too tight. It's pulling too hard, making the color thread come together. So to correct that, we'll want to loosen the bobbin case. So remove it from the machine, and the larger screw you'll then want to loosen about a 1/4 turn. Reinstall. Okay, yeah. Hit unlock and start. Then select your stop button, remove your hoop, and take another look. In this case, it appears that the bobbin case is a little bit too loose, so maybe I went a little bit too far. So we'll remove the bobbin case again, and go just a little bit tighter, about 1/8 of a turn. Doesn't have to be much sometimes. Reinstall the hoop. Hit the unlock button and start again. Let's hit the stop button and see where we are now. Now that to me looked much better, because see how we're seeing more of the red thread and then just a center line of your bobbin thread. So for me, that's a pretty good result. If I want to go just a tad tighter, I could, but I think we're going to leave it at that. Sometimes if you adjust your tension a little bit too tight, you could get thread breakage. Sometimes if it's too loose, it may not rotate the disc for your thread break sensor properly. So that's why we found, after thorough testing, that the best result we find on all of the latest machines is when looking from a side view, you see 3 gray lines. Now if you happen to own one of the early 6-needle machines, EMP6, BMP6 models, those we always set those upper thread tensions to 2 gray lines shown. So that should be your best recipe for setting the tension for your multi-needle machines. Now that you know, get out and sew.